Hello, welcome to the RetroCore channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a much requested item. This is the RG-350. Is this the gaming device we've all been waiting for? Well, a lot of people seem to think so, but then again a lot of people don't seem to think so. So we're going to take a look at it and decide whether it is or whether it is not. Now, as you can see on the side of the machine here, we've got some specs. They may be a little bit difficult to read, so I'll put them up on the screen right now. Pause the video if you want to read those. On the other side of the box, we have a little diagram showing you all the different functions and a little content list on this side. And as you can see, the device comes in various colors. We've got black, gray, white transparent, or black transparent. We've got the one which I think is the most sexy looking, the black and orange. Alright, so the unboxing experience is quite nice. The box itself is very sturdy. You get this nice little bit of foam in there to keep it nice and safe. The console itself comes in this little packaging. And if we take it out, you can see it right there. Isn't that a lovely looking machine? I think the black and orange works very well. Now, a lot of people, when they saw the pictures of this, they were thinking, oh man, isn't that really horrible to hold? You know, because you got the buttons up here, you got the D-pad down here, and the D-pad looks massive, and then you got these analog sticks on a weird position. Oh, it's horrible. Well, the thing is, how can you comment on what a machine feels like to hold if you've never held one? Now, in the hand, this feels perfectly fine. I do like the way you got the L and R trigger buttons up here, and they're nice and clicky. They're easy to get to. And you don't actually press these ones by accident when you press these ones. They're being positioned in such a way that it's not really possible to press them both together. Well, I suppose you can if you try to. The analog sticks are in a nice position, I feel. And also playing with the D-pad and the buttons up here, I mean, at first I have to admit I was a little bit skeptical, and I did think it was going to be a bit of an issue having this down here. But that didn't really seem to get in my way, you know, when playing with the D-pad and the buttons. When you play a twin stick shooter, obviously you'll map the action buttons up here, so that works really well as well. Now, the only downside I would say is that I do think the analog sticks are a little bit too floaty. They do center pretty well. I mean, not pretty well, they center perfectly fine. And they do act as buttons themselves. They do have clicky buttons. But I do think they're a little bit too loose for my liking. Now, talking of buttons and stuff, let's take a look at the bottom of the machine. Now, as you can see right here, we have the power button, the micro SD card slot, the volume rocker, and a reset button. And we also have stereo speaker grills. On the top of the machine, we have got some interesting ports. We've got two USB-C ports. Oh yeah. Now, one can be used to charge the system and transfer data onto it, and another one can be used to add another control pad, so you can actually play two players on this. We've also got an AV out, which also doubles up as a headphone socket, and HDMI out. Oh yes. Now, unfortunately, on the current firmware, the HDMI is not working, but in a firmware update, that should be implemented and should be looking good. So I'll be interested to see how well that performs. On the back of the device, some might be surprised to see that there's no camera, and to be honest, you don't need a camera. All you need are the details of the console. Yeah. Okay, so how fast does this thing boot up? Well, surprisingly, it boots up pretty fast. Pressing the power button now, and here we go. We've got the company logo right there, and that's it, we're in. Wasn't that harmless? Pretty fast. Now, I'm running it stock. As you know, I like to show the stock experience so you know what you're going to be getting into when you buy this device. And as you can see, it comes with a lot of different options here. We've got some hardware tests, input tests and stuff like that. Nice to know. We've got a lot of emulators built in. MAME, DOSBox, Final Burn Alpha, all your consoles, PlayStation, WonderSwan, Neo Geo, another MAME emulator there. And we also got some built-in games, such as we got Open Streets of Rage, Quake 2, things like that. You know, the usual assortment that you get on these Linux-based devices. And of course, we got a media player and settings as well. Now, what you're probably wondering is, can this thing run PlayStation games properly? Well, let's take a look. I have Ridge Racer High Spec in here. That is a very demanding title since it runs Ridge Racer in a higher resolution at 60 frames per second. Most emulators can't run this at all. Let's see if this will run it. And by the way, I've taken away all the music from the ROM file. That's pretty loud. Turn that down a bit. Alright, volume controls work well. Okay, this emulator is not set up to work on the analog, so we're going to be using the digital controls. Let's press start, special version, and we'll go straight into it. Okay. Now when I tried this on the RG-350 and the LDK, it really didn't work very well. It was stuttering everywhere, dropping frames like crazy. But as you can see, even though this is not running at 60 frames per second, it is dropping a few. It is performing pretty well. It seems to be fluctuating between 60 and 30. There you go, it's running 60 there. That was looking very nice. I am playing this on an angle, so it is kind of difficult. Yeah. Okay, so let's see how it handles the normal version of Ridge Racer. That should run perfectly fine. Let's take a look. Alright. Original. Okay, here we go. Absolutely flawless, nice and smooth. Look at that. It's not helping that I can't control it, but as I said, I am playing this on an angle. Well, that wasn't too bad. Oh, I was going to say that wasn't too bad. Okay, so as you can see, it runs that fairly well. Now the screen on it is a fairly high quality screen. As you can see, even on angles such as that, you can see the screen perfectly fine, apart from the reflection, of course. Like that, we can still see the screen pretty well. It's a little bit dark on the side angle there, but that's mostly due to the camera. When you see that with your naked eye, it's not too bad actually. And it has a glass... Yeah, be quiet you. And it has a glass screen protector on it, so that is also a nice welcome to the usual plastic ones that these things have. So what you want to see is how well it runs the games. Let's change the camera lens, get a little bit closer, and run some games on this device. So there we have it. That was the RG-350, a very, very good handheld device. Now, it's not perfect by any means. It is going to run most PlayStation games just fine, but there are one or two that may not run, as perfectly as you'd want. But what is cool is you notice I was playing Truxton 2. Well, you can play it in Tate mode. Oh yeah, check this out. So what they've gone and done is they've actually mapped the controls to this analog stick here, and your buttons are here, so you can play it as a vertical shooter. How about that for cool? So I really do like that feature. So you see, there is a reason for having the analog stick down here and the buttons up here. And now it lets you play vertical shooters. I'm surprised I didn't die there. Okay, and I must also point out that the stereo speakers on here are also mighty impressive. Just take a listen to this. So I hope that stereo sound demonstration worked pretty well. Anyway, there you have it. That is the RG-350. Now a lot of people might be thinking, what's the point in buying this? Something else is going to come along. That's always the case in the land of tech. Something else will always come along. But this is out now. It's easy to get. And, it isn't that expensive. Now some people might be thinking, why not just get the RG-300? By the way, this is the brand new one with the IPS screen. I'll be reviewing that pretty soon. Well, the thing is, this plays more things than the RG-300, but that's why it costs more. And I think overall it's a better built device. It just feels better in the hand. Plus, it's very nice to have that option to play shoot 'em ups in Tate mode, or Tate mode, as Joe from GameStack keeps calling it for some reason. Don't know why. It's Tate, guys. It's Japanese. Tate, it means stand up. Alright, anyway, that's the RG-350, sorry. I do recommend it. Now, there are new firmwares available. I did show you the stock firmware running. The new firmwares add better emulators to it, so it's going to be more compatible. Of course, the standard firmware is going to play other things such as Famicom, Master System, all the 8-bit stuff. It's going to play your Amiga, your MSX, even BBC Micro. Basically, it'll play a lot of things very, very, very well. It won't play all your PlayStation games perfectly, but it will play the majority of them just fine. So yes, I'm going to put a link in the video description down below to the new firmware and also to where you can buy this from. But until next time, guys, keep on gaming and enjoy your games. I'm off to go and play Shenmue 3. I've been waiting bloody years for this. See ya.